So Engajamundo we created after Rio Plus 20, and the idea is to engage young Brazilians in international processes. So we work with mobilization, activism, and capacity building in a national level. And then we take small delegations with strong positions to the UN conferences. And then we get back from here and take to the ground all the information and the things that are going on here, deciding about our future.
Okay, what do you think about the Brazilian INDC? Are you satisfied by what your government has proposed?
There are some points that are positive, like Brazilian government supports human rights, gender equality, something the review mechanism by 5 years. But there are some points that we don't agree. As for example, Brazil just want to eliminate the illegal deforestation just in 2030, and this is not good because it's a crime, it's illegal, and we must stop the deforestation right now. Yes.
I think this is one of.
Okay, so this is why you created your own INDC, right? What is the difference with the one produced by the government?
So we made an INDC. We made based on the carbon budget. We pledged 800 megatons of CO2, GHG, in fact, and the government pledged 1.3 gigatons. So I think our INDC is more ambitious. We pledged 40%, 42% based on 1990 levels, and Brazil is just 16% of the reduction related to 1990.
Okay, Brazil is a very young country. I mean that a big part of the population is under 30, if I'm not wrong. So would you say that the youth of Brazil is listened by your government?
We have a good dialogue with the government. I mean, like, we talk. I'm not sure if they listen, but we do our part. Like, we do local actions, and we try to raise awareness of young people all around Brazil in all of 5 regions, because we want the government to feel pressured by us. And so we do our part, and we have a good relationship with them. We talk, we have an open dialogue, and so that's how we try to bring these issues up.
We just did an initiative that we called Advocacy Tour, that we took our own INDC to 10 different ministers in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, and we were received by the Minister of Environment, the Minister of Energy, the Chief of Delegation of Brazil here from the Minister of Foreign Relations, and some other important people from the government. So they have listened to us, they read our INDC, and they took our points on their perspective as well. So I think we are building this relationship that Deborah was talking about, and through the years it's going to be even much strong than it is right now.
We have a case of success that in the COP 15 in Copenhagen, Brazil and all the other countries signed a deal to... Sorry? Doha? Signed a deal to point a focal point for environmental education, and Brazil has not done it so far. And we've been pushing this for a year or so, saying we need a focal point for education. And so this week, this is the first COP where they appointed a focal point for education, and that was our work lobbying with the government. So it's our case of success.
Because what about the Brazilian population? Your country is one of the most affected by climate change. As you just said, the deforestation is terrible in Brazil. I think it's 16,000 hectares since the beginning of the year. Is the Brazilian population aware about that? Do you receive any ecological education in your country?
No, unfortunately not. It's difficult because at the schools we don't study environmental issues. The population is not aware about the climate change, something like that. And just because of the drought, people get more involved because they related
We're
the
facing the biggest draw of
in São
Brazil
Paulo.
in the whole history of the country in São Paulo now.
So do you expect something about it? Do you expect from your government to educate people in order to make them better citizens?
Actually, we're not waiting the government to do things, we're doing ourselves. So this is one of the main issues for us as Engajamundo. We've been doing this capacity building workshops and classes that we built ourselves, and we believe in this youth to youth as the main different thing that we have as a youth NGO. So we're doing ourselves. If the government is not teaching people about environmental education and climate change, we've been doing this in 15 different states. We have almost 100 volunteers that are working on that. So I think that we're doing our part.
Thank you very much for your time and for your answers.